2:10. So if you tune to us, folks, for the Bears game, don't worry, you're not missing anything. That game has been delayed till at least 2 o'clock. In the meantime, if you have family members or loved ones in the Illinois, the Chicagoland area that may be in some of those hardest hit areas west and south of us, we will bring you all of the weather coverage as we get it into our newsroom.
We're getting some information that there's some tornado activity in the Oak Lawn area. Of course, those of us of a certain age remember the devastating tornado of 1967 that did an awful lot of damage and took lives in Oak Lawn on the southwest side of Chicago. We are trying to confirm, the folks in the Weather Center at Kern, Mary Kay Kleiss, are trying to confirm that a tornado has touched down in Oak Lawn.
And we have confirmed, of course, reports in Frankfort, Illinois. As you can see, there are a lot of red on the screen. This is a Twitter image from Washington, Illinois, where that storm moved through, clearly flipping over cars. There's homes that have been completely damaged there. This is all coming to us on social media. We always encourage people to send us photos from your vantage point, as long as it is safe to do so. Feel free to send them to us at CBS Chicago on Twitter. And again, it is one of those situations that, as Megan mentioned earlier, is continuing to develop, not only because of the weather, but also because of the aftermath and what's happening. And it is just one of those things where, you know, you have to just sort of stay safe there. And our Ed Curran and Mary Kay Kleiss are in the Weather Center. They are doing yeoman's work today, trying to bring you the latest information as to where the storm is right now. But if you look at that photo there, you can see the power of that storm in terms of the car flipped over, the wood just tossed around like toothpicks there. That is one of many photos that we are seeing on social media. Pekin, Illinois also hit hard. We are getting reports from our CBS affiliate out of Peoria, Illinois, that has just some amazing photos, some very compelling pictures of the damage that's done there. And take a look at that picture. Stop what you're doing, folks, and look at your screen there. Wow, that looks like the massive storm moving through, shot through. Looks like a regular home window, a living room window maybe. Wow, just look at the size of that. Jim, your reaction to that? You've been covering news here in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area for a long time.
Well, that's what we have. In the past, you know, before social media, before people had cell phones, we would have to wait until these images came through. Now we can get them quickly, and I will tell you, sometimes we are criticized in local news for paying too much attention to weather, but if you've ever been in a community that has been hit by a tornado, and I'm sure you have in your career, you know how devastating they can be.
And it is amazing when you see just the power of the storm as it continues to move through its way through the area there. It's just amazing to get those. Again, if you want to send us a picture from your vantage point, we know the storm is moving a little bit north now and east towards Chicago, so if you can safely take a photo, please send it to us at CBS Chicago on Twitter or on Facebook.
Luca, we have a photo now with Luca Ferry. He's the director of sponsorship at Soldier Field. The Bear game is delayed. We're hearing the earliest it could resume would be 2 o'clock. Luca, what are you seeing there?
Well, that's exactly what we're hearing here from the stadium management side of things. I reiterate the point that Megan had said, too. Everyone's been very cooperative and calm throughout the process, and almost as if people have been through it before. But I think that's a testament to all the people that are working here, been monitoring this all day as well as last night, and being on top of the notices starting when the gates open.
And what about in terms of fans there? We're looking at some tape now that is obviously dated, but from your vantage point, are you seeing fans still in the upper levels of the stand, or has everybody made it to safety?
No, everyone has cooperated and moved out of the stands. Obviously, when we start to get into a situation where you've got lightning striking, if that's not enough to compel people to move out of the stands, we've taken some approaches to make sure we get people out of the stands and into safe areas. So everyone's getting comfortable. I'm actually out in the concourses right now. They are full, but people have room to move and waiting it out. So, like I said, everyone's been very cooperative, and it is quite the storm, but it is something that has been, something different for us here at the stadium, but everyone was prepared for it and ready to get everybody in the safe area. So at least everyone's experience today is as good as it can be.
Did you think about this before the game began, Luca, and as folks were coming into the stadium at 10 and 11 o'clock, that you might have to take this kind of action? And did officials at Soldier Field huddle and prepare a plan?
Yeah, I actually started last night, in fact, when the weather reports started coming in, whether it be through folks like you guys from the different city agencies as well as us. So we're in constant communication with the city and OEMC, and obviously have multiple weather sources that are giving us real-time information so that, we're getting minute by minute and kind of a play-by-play, if you will, of what's coming and what to expect and when to start moving on things. So we didn't want to do anything too prematurely without knowing what was coming our way. We made the right call at the right time, got everybody under cover before the game actually was suspended, and that really helped us get ahead of it.
Well, good job. You can't be too safe. Thank you, Luca. Luca Farah. He is the director of sponsorship at Soldier Field, where the Bear game has been delayed until at least 2 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right, and we do have a photo now that's coming across social media there. If you look at that, that is just some of the damage there. Obviously, the fence tipped sideways, but look at that picture. That says City of Washington, Illinois, and that sign snapped in half. Joining us now from Washington, Illinois via phone is Gary Hinkle. Gary, what can you tell us? Tell us about what happened, what you heard, what you saw, and what you're seeing right now.
Right now, on my town,
She lost the belly,
but where I'm at right now, it looks like a tornado went to the southwest, northeast, northwest side of the town here. It's kind of swamped like that, on 5 yards wide, and everything in that path extending for at least a mile or 2 miles is gone. Houses, demolished, just foundation, trees gone, just piles of rubble.
Gary, how many homes are we talking about within this 500-yard area?
500 yards across, probably 2 miles long. You're probably talking about, I'm guessing, 200 to 300 homes.
And Gary, I want to make sure that we heard you correctly. Did you say that there are homes down to their foundation?
That's a girl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm looking at a bomb zone here. It's not.
And what did you, I mean, you've obviously been watching the news this morning. What did you hear about the storm? And how did you see it? Did you see any tornadic action?
I live across town on the other side, and there was just another, tornado warning. It was dark, it was windy, but we saw no damage in my area of the town. The area that's been damaged is over on the northwest side of town. Like I said, I'm guessing somewhere between 200 to maybe 300 homes, because I'm standing on a slight road here, about halfway through the 2-mile path that cut, and it's phenomenal. The devastation is complete in that area.
Gary, have you been able to reach your family members? Are they all okay?
Actually, my family members are out of town. We were at my own house, my wife and I, and on my way over to my daughter's property. She's actually in the Chicago area today, so hopefully she's avoided all this, but I'm trying to get her out because she's concerned that it may have been damaged. I've been unable to reach it at this time. It's very windy, and there's piles of water in the way.
Gary, did you actually see any circulation, any tornadic action?
Not where I live. No, I could not.
And so were you in a basement at the time when the storm passed through?
I was on the ground level and up and down into the basement. The sirens would erupt, yes.
Okay, Gary, stay with us for 1 second here. We're showing a photo of some of the tornadic activity that ripped through Washington, Illinois. Again, Gary Hinkle on the phone with us now live in Washington. He's reporting that there could be hundreds of homes down to their foundation as a result of the weather that has moved through. And if you take a look at the radar here, that's the storm that has moved through from the west and the south of us. Gary, before we let you go here, can you just set the tone for us in terms of what people are saying when you're talking to them? I mean, is this the level of storm that people are going to have to really rebuild from the very bottom of the ground up?
Rebuilt, but I would say literally hundreds of people that have to rebuild.
Is it okay?
Lumber here.
Chance.
Scrap.
Okay.
Gary,
just boards,
Chance.
lumber,
I'm gonna take a chance.
there's a
Chance.
smell
Oh.
of,
It's okay. Wants to go outside now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to ask the weatherman now. Frank, you ain't doing it right.
Yeah, everything has calmed down now.
Do not put that on YouTube. He was like, you gotta go downstairs now. You'll get a lot of views.
Gary Hinkle in Washington, Illinois, who describes an awful lot of damage there. That is a photo from on social media right now. You can see the tornadoes. You can see the dark clouds. He describes a very serious situation. Lots of homes damaged to their foundation in a 500-yard area that he is describing. That is in Washington, Illinois. Let's go back to CBS 2's Ed Curran, who has been tracking the storm. Ed.
Well, you're taking a look at the Washington, Illinois photo here. Some very dramatic photos that have been coming in from that area. And let's take a look. Do we have a second photo there from Washington? I know we showed a photo earlier of the Washington, Illinois sign, which was found in Streator. So that was picked up, and here it is right here. So there's the Washington sign, but it's near Streator. So that's, as the crow flies, you got to be talking 40 miles maybe, that piece of debris flew and wound up in Streator. So let me tell you what's going on right now. We have had tornado warnings throughout the day. We've had tornadoes on the ground located in several different areas. And right now, I'm happy to tell you that the tornado warning for southern Cook County and for Will County has been dropped. We have a tornado warning now for northern Lake County. This is the Gary area right here. There's a storm that's capable of producing a tornado. It's showing rotation, and it's in the Gary area. Certainly, if you're in that area, take cover, get to the lowest place in your house, in a basement, in an interior room, and stay safe. This is the system that has now moved through here, and you can see a very strong storm that is in Gary right now and will eventually move off into Lake Michigan. So the good news is that the tornado warning for Cook has moved out of there, and right now we have this, and hopefully this will move offshore and we'll be in better shape. You can see there are some thunderstorms back here, and though we have some severe thunderstorms around the area, we don't have any other reports right now of any tornadoes on the ground and that sort of thing. There is a tornado warning for Iroquois County, which is down south of Kankakee, and that's with these here, and those are moving up into northwestern Indiana here, into Lake and Porter County. So we got to keep an eye on this. Even though it's very, very far to the south, it will move up to the north and affect these regions here. Beyond that, we're looking at more typical garden variety thunderstorms and a few severe storms here and there with some heavy downpours and some hail. But as I said, we don't have any reports of any other tornadic action at this time. Get further out into western Illinois, and they have even dropped the tornado watch out there as cooler air is now pouring in and stabilizing the situation. So you had asked about the situation, and how long it will take to come through here, and we estimated another couple of hours. And yeah, we still do have a little more time that we have to sit with these storms before they finally move out and we have more stabilizing cool air that moves in. This is terrible, though. This picture, what area are we looking at here? This picture here? This is Washington, which is a community that's near Peoria. And just look, it's devastation as far as the eye can see. And this is the location where it was reported to us that a large, dangerous tornado was on the ground. And let's hope that people were able to shelter and able to stay safe, because this tornado that came roaring through here was moving at about 55 miles per hour. So when you're moving at about a mile per minute, you're on top of the next community before you know it. These storms made incredible progress. Here's radar once again. We can show you what's going on. This is the line of severe storms that spawned the tornadoes, and they're now moving through the Chicago area and through northwest Indiana. Chicago has some heavier storms in here, and we have had some severe storms around the area, but all the tornadic action was with this system here. And there is a tornado warning associated with the system in Iroquois County, which is down south of Kankakee, and that'll be tracking to the north. That particular tornado warning is not because of a tornado that's reported currently on the ground to us, but it's a rotation that has been indicated within that storm. What happens here is this moves through, and though you can still see we've got some energy, popping some showers, you can see the way out here in Iowa, they're kind of drying up. You've got colder air moving in that will stabilize the situation, send our temperatures down, and help to get rid of this rain. Tomorrow, we're going to have sunshine in the Chicago area, much colder temperatures in Chicago tomorrow. But in the sunshine, I'm afraid we're going to see some terrible devastation. This picture from Coal City, where we also had the report of a tornado on the ground, and you can see there in the distance, indeed that's the tornado that went through Coal City there in the area of Grundy County. Jim, Marissa, back to you.
All right, thank you. And we want to go now to a phone interview with Gary Schenkel, Cook County Director of OEMC, obviously looking at this from probably what could be known as the situation room in terms of, just how we're handling the storm here for our area. Gary, what can you tell us in terms of this storm moving through right now? What do you know?
Okay, we've got one more line of thunderstorms coming through the area. It's slowed just a little bit. We expected it to be hitting right now, but it looks like it may hit in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. There's no way to really tell how severe it is right now. I heard you talking about tornadic activity earlier. We do not see any of that, but we are not taking any chances. We're going to stay with the high precaution here until that storm passes through. After that, it looks like we're in pretty good shape. But with the severity of this weather and the way it is so unpredictable, we'll still keep our eyes peeled to the entire area here. Northern side of the city looks to be a little bit more in the path than the central and southern. That being said, we're concentrating on the entire city of Chicago.
Gary, we're getting reports that there's been some tornado activity in the southwest part of Chicago, in the Chicago area, Oak Lawn, 111th and Cicero. Do you know anything about that?
We are getting those reports, but then when we go to the offices of emergency management in the respective counties and areas, we are not getting any confirmation on that. So we'll continue to press with our partners on that, but right now we have no confirmation on any of that activity.
Gary Schenkel, Executive Director, OEMC, thank you so much.
All right, and if you're just joining us again, just a reminder, the Bears game has been delayed right now at 1:30. We're being told the latest information is that it won't start until at the earliest 2 o'clock. Our Megan Malachy was there covering the Bears game. She is now there as a sort of weather reporter giving us the status as to what's going on. Megan, you look a little lonely there. Fair to say everybody's taking cover and safe?
Absolutely, Marissa. I am right outside the Bears locker room, which is right over there. The players are inside, hunkered down. A Bears spokesman just came by since that last update about 30 seconds ago and told me now their goal is to have the players out on the field at 2:15 and to start this game at 2:25. They are now optimistic about those times. They have had grounds crew and officials out looking at the field. Obviously, it's not raining anymore, and the skies are clearing up. And if you're wondering why they didn't put a tarp out on the field like you see at baseball games and even football games, it would that the drainage system really holds up, or it could be a ugly couple of quarters ahead of football. We'll see, or messy, I should say. Now, the players are inside the locker room. All they can do right now is just stay loose, I am told. Stretching. There are a few bikes they can go on to keep their muscles warm, but talking over their playbooks and see if they need to make any adjustments after we're still in the first quarter of the game. So not a whole lot they can do there. Just waiting out like everybody else. The Bears will also tell me that everything has gone very smoothly here in terms of the fans. Fans are still in the concourses. They will not be allowed inside the bowl any earlier than 2 o'clock, the fans. So they are waiting out in the concourses. I have been told that some concession stands have been shut down, depending on where they are located. I'm sure that doesn't make some of those fans happy trying to wait this out. But all is well right now. The Bears are pleased how it's all going, and we will see if we start this game back up at 2:25.